May the Lord give this council the wisdom, discernment and courage to serve the community. Grant also that we may act compassionately and in integrity in the best interest of this Shire. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. I would like to show respect and acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land and elders past, present and future on which this meeting takes place. Thank you, councillors. Okay, councillors, welcome to our August council meeting. And for those in the gallery, turn around twice, it'll be Christmas. Mr. GM, application for attending meeting by video link.
There's no applications, Mr. Mayor.
Nil. Apologies. Application for leave of absence by councillors.
The only leave is for Councillor Flaherty, who's still on leave until the 1st of November, Mr. Mayor.
Do we someone move that again? Move Councillor Campbell.
Been resolved by
Been
council.
resolved. So don't need to move it. Thank you. Public participation.
There's nil public participation.
Nil. Confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 31st of July 2023 and extraordinary council meeting held on the 17th of August 2023. Move Councillor Burns, second Councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. Disclosure of interest.
Mr. Mayor, I've got one disclosure of interest from Councillor Watts in regard to item G 8.2, the request for donations. She's declaring a non-pecuniary significant interest as she is the manager of the Scone Neighbourhood Resource Centre, and she will leave the room while discussion and voting is taking place.
Thank you, Mr. GM. Okay, councillors, straight over to our agenda items. SCR 08.1 Infrastructure Services Committee on page 13. Move Councillor Campbell, seconder. Councillor Clout. Questions, comment, discussion. Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. I draw your attention, the councillor's attention to page 14, Strategic and Capital Works Update. And just to note that there are 27 major projects in progress that have been reported out of the 8 projects require budget and resealing intervention. The reason I mention that is the fact that well, there's a lot of things going on in our Shire, and I've noted and had commented from Merriwar that the heavy patching on MR62 is very much, they're very thankful for that, and it has a good job. And I'd like you to convey to the staff, yourself, and also to Sam, that it's just been really good and very well received. And I think the staff need to be commended for what they've tried to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Any other comments, questions? No. All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 18 is the Environmental and Community Services Committee. Move Councillor Watts, second Councillor Campbell. Questions, comment, discussion? Nil. All in favour? Is carried. Over to page 21 is the Corporate Services Committee. Move Councillor Burns, second Councillor McKenzie. Questions, comment, discussion. Councillor Burns.
I'll just make a comment about this committee, Mr. Mayor. It oversees the Sale Yards Committee, and on Friday, Mr. Mayor, Palgrove had their sale. There was a bull sold there for $48,000. Now, the interesting thing about this is Palgrove isn't in the Upper Hunter. It's not in Liverpool Plains. It's not in Tamworth. It's in Chinchilla. That's an entire state away. That is 708 kilometres away from our sale yards. Now, for them to get their bulls here, and there were 61 on offer, they have to go past Tamworth sale yards, Moree sale yards, Armidale sale yards, Gunnedah sale yards, Lismore, Grafton, Casino. And I'm sure that there's a few in Queensland that they go past as well, Mr. Mayor. Now, they've chosen to come all the way, not to Dunedoo, not to Dubbo, not to Dungog. They've chosen to come to the Upper Hunter Regional Selling Centre because it is so bloody good. That is the reason that they've come here. The prices are fair, the buyers are brilliant, but more than that, the centre is excellent. It is a centre of excellence. And that's why we are now getting people driving 708 kilometres with a lot of stock on the back and then selling them for $48,000. Now, we've got a drought coming. We're in a drought. We just decided that a fortnight ago. We put a motion up and said that we're in drought. We will go down. The numbers will dip. We will see numbers dip at the sale yards. That is the point of having a sale yards run by a council, because the council cannot the council can have a dip because we are there to support the community. Now we've got people, our community has grown. It's now involving people from Chinchilla. So long may the sale yards reign. Used to be the sale yards were better than a country mile. Well, now they're better than 708 kilometres, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, councillor Burns. Any more questions to comment? If not,
Oh, I'd love to comment,
councillor
Mr. Mayor.
Campbell, you
It's really good to hear those things, and I concur completely with my fellow councillor. And he is. I'm a landowner and have stock, etc. And we do use the Scone sale yards rather than go down further down the valley, and also Dubbo. We only buy out of Dubbo, but it's just great to see recognition of the excellence of the Scone sale yards.
thank you, councillor Campbell. I'd like to see you sell a few more here, but anyway,
We
No more
haven't
questions,
sold any
comment?
for a while.
all in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 29 is the Community Advisory Committee of Aberdeen District. Move councillor Watts, second councillor Williamson. Questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Motion is carried. Over to page 32 is the 2023 Local Government New South Wales Annual Conference. We've got a recommendation in front of you, councillors. So I suppose, does any councillor wish to be nominated? Or does anyone wish to nominate a councillor?
Mr. Mayor, I will nominate councillor Burns.
Councillor Burns nominated by councillor Campbell. The seconder, councillor Clout. Okay, Mr. GM, you will be attending with councillor Burns.
Can do, yes, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any questions, comment, discussion around it? All in favour? Against? Well done, councillor Burns. Looking forward to your update when you return. Councillors, over to page 35 is a request for donations. We're going to do these individually. So we've got councillor Watts leaving.
Sorry, point of order, Mr. Mayor. We haven't considered any motions for the submission.
There's 3 motions there. Part 3 is to consider.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Just sorry, councillor Watts. So we got dot point 3 to consider any motions for submission to the local LG New South Wales conference.
I'll move that, Mr. Mayor.
You move. Second that. Councillor Campbell. Any questions, comment, discussion around it? Councillor Burns.
Yes, so number 1A, that LGNSW continue to lobby for increased assistance grants provided to councils. And B, that when LGNSW is successful in gaining a greater grant amount for councils, that it lobby the Grants Commission to apply the method of distribution towards an increased amount to rural councils who have historically received less from Grants Commission, the Grant Commission's present distribution formula. Number 2, that the LGNSW lobby the New South Wales government on the matter of drought declarations and ask the New South Wales government to instruct the DPI to include all councils as a source of information on ground truthing in order to inform it how areas are declared in drought. And number 3, that LGNSW lobby the federal government to create welfare reform around job seeker recipient requirements to include 20 hours per week, 20 hours of work per week for the local government area of the recipient. The areas of work that the people would serve can include groundskeeping, road maintenance, and any other areas where the local government areas require assistance that requires no qualification.
Thank you, councillor Burns. Do we need, Mr GM, 2 movers on that? Moved it all in a 1, 2 and 3 originally.
The only question could be, there could be other councillors who are yet to put motions forward.
All good? Okay, all in favour? Against? Carried. Now we'll move over. Councillor Watts, thank you. Okay, councillors, we're only dealing with dot point 1. Councillor Burns, you moved.
I'll move, Mr Mayor, that this council provide a donation to Scone Neighbourhood Resource Centre for waiving the hire fee of White Park and the backup generator for the annual Christmas in the Park event on 2nd December 2023.
Seconder? Seconder, councillor Clout. No more questions, comment? All in favour? The motion is carried. Could you ask councillor Watts back in? Councillor Watts, for your information, I'll read it out if you wish. Is it up there, Robin, yet?
Provide a donation to, I've got it written down.
Can you read it out, councillor Burns, please?
That this council provide a donation to the Scone Neighbourhood Resource Centre for waiving hire fee of White Park and backup generator for the annual Christmas in the Park event on the 2nd of December 2023.
Okay,
On behalf of the Neighbourhood Centre, thank you very much.
I'll just make one more comment, and there's no pressure here, but Lee, I'll donate $200 to your cause. I think it's a great cause for our community, and that may only a little way to going towards it, but I will do that. So you chase me up for that.
Well, thank you.
No more questions, comment? All in favour? Against? Carried. Okay, councillors, we got, we'll better do them separately again. Dot point 2, to provide a donation of $200 to Ms Nelson, $250 for financial assistance to go towards representing the New South Wales Combined Independent School Girls 16 years rugby league team at Australia Secondary Schools Championships to be held in Port Macquarie. Got a mover, move councillor McPhee, second councillor Clout. Questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. Dot point 4, councillors. Should read it out to us, but provide a donation to Westpac Rescue Helicopter Service, Scone Volunteer Support Group for $200 towards the running of the charity golf day to be held on the 24th of September 2023. Mover, councillor
Mr.
McKenzie.
Mayor, I think you've missed point 3.
Yeah, that was deliberate, councillor. Okay. No, I'll come back to that one. We'll do dot point 4. Do dot point 4 first, councillor. I've already been there, which is the Westpac helicopter. Got a mover. Move councillor McKenzie, second councillor McPhee. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. Dot point 3.
Mr
Councillor Campbell.
Mayor, I wish to delete dot point 3 and replace it with to provide a donation of $200 to the Merriward Festival of the Fleeces to assist in the payment of Merriward School of Arts hall hire fees.
Seconder, councillor Clout.
Am I allowed to speak to it?
You can do whatever you want, councillor
No,
Campbell.
I don't need to. I just, okay.
Any questions?
Mr.
Yeah,
Not
Mr.
sure.
Mayor, not that I have anything, I just, can we actually put a recommendation into the exact opposite of what's in there?
We probably, it's complete opposite, yeah.
Yes, because nothing's been moved yet, so
Nothing's
it's
been
not really, he's not putting in a change. Yeah.
If someone had
No-
moved it.
no
we
one
wouldn't
had
be in
moved it.
trouble.
Yes.
Okay. Any more questions, comment? All in favour? Councillor Campbell, you've got your motion passed. Councillors, over to page 44, G08.3, the Warbirds over Scone 2024. Move councillor Watts, second councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Motion is carried. Over to page 48. Policy, work, health and safety, no smoking. Move councillor Watts, second councillor Burns. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor Watts.
I will have to say that does not mean that you can now smoke inside. What that means to one of our councillors, but I won't mention names, what it does mean is that, yeah, it's part of another policy which we have already adopted.
No. I don't know whether I could pick it, but anyway. Okay, no more questions, comment? All in favour? Motion is carried. Councillors, over to page 61, the number of councillors for the next term of office. The recommendation that council maintain the number of councillors as 9 for the next term of council 2024 to 2028. Move councillor Campbell, second councillor Watts. Any questions, comment, discussion?
Just a comment, I think with the 9, at least if you have any missing or on holidays, it gives you that backup to have enough people to vote. And I think any less, you can have issues, and any more, you have more issues. So I think 9's a good number.
Thank you, councillor Watts. Any other comment?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I thoroughly agree with that. And I being an odd number, of course, is the way in which it was. Mary War, I think, had 7, but it was and that's 25 years ago. And it was a much smaller council on that time. But I agree entirely with the way in which it's worked with 9. I believe it is a workable solution. So I therefore support the resolution.
Thank you, councillor Campbell. No more questions, comment? All in favour? Against? The motion is carried. Over to page 64, notice of motion, housing accommodation. Move councillor Williamson, second. Gee, hands up everywhere. Councillor Clout. Councillor Williamson, you wish to speak?
Oh, very briefly. I'd just like councillors to consider this here for the council to write the letter to State MP Dave Lizelle. And I must make mention today, it is MP Dave Lizelle's birthday today. So happy birthday, Dave. And the motion is asking that we explore what the state has in assets around the Upper Hunter. Specifically, we're looking at some of the Strathern village within Scone, but we should also look at the other villages around and any assets that might be found all through the Upper Hunter. I would hate to feel that I hold this position here and have not asked questions when people are desperate for accommodation in various means, and we have empty premises within the Shire. So I asked that everybody consider this motion, and thank you for the time.
Thank you, councillor Williams. I think everyone will certainly agree, and we'll be certainly speaking to ministers for a few issues coming up very shortly. Any other comment, councillor Watts?
Thank you to councillor Williamson. Housing is something that everyone deserves to have a roof over their head and food on the table. While many say it's not a core role of council, it probably isn't. However, we need to ensure we do everything to support the people that live in this Shire. And if that means making representation to ministers, that's the best way we can do. But everybody deserves, as I said, affordable housing has become a high priority for many to be able to find anything to live in. The prices that have gone up in relation to rent, paying off their mortgage, food, electricity is causing, where I work at the neighbourhood centre, us to see more people now than we have ever in the time I've been there, and I've been there 28 years. So what's happening is we are now seeing a whole different demographics, and that demographics includes people that are working, that are in a situation where they're living in cars with their children, and looking for accommodation. So I'd just like to say thank you very much to Councillor Williamson for putting this up, and hopefully we can get some good feedback.
Thank you, councillor Watts. Certainly, I think we're all aware that we have some in our own little town here not far away, and it certainly needs addressing. Councillor Campbell.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, thank you. I agree with the two previous speakers. One thing I would ask, and you may be able to clarify this, two things. If we will this take away the responsibility of the state government? And if so, we need to keep the pressure on them that it is their responsibility as well. We can only perhaps administer. Secondly, are the people coming in, are they people that live here? And this is where you've just mentioned the people that are working, which means that they must live here or try to live here anyway. Because it is definitely something that would be on, especially on families, on their minds. They've got to, the parents have got to look after their family, and it's something, if you can't feed your family, it's very, very bad. I must say this, my grandfather and my grandmother unfortunately separated in the 30s. And my grandfather said, I mightn't be able to put the best clothes on you, but he said, I'll keep your bellies full. And that was something I think that carries right through now, and which he certainly did. It's not interested in the details and things, but that's, I think, is what faces many parents today. They might be able to put their finest clothes on them, but as long as they can give them something to eat. And that's very serious for all of us to consider the ramifications of what's really happening in our country. So I support the notice of motion. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Campbell. No more questions, comment? All in favour? Against? Motion is carried. Okay, councillors, we move straight over into the confidential. Someone like to move us into confidential, please? Move councillor Williamson, second councillor Watts. All in favour? Against? Carried.